I would like to thank all of you for coming out today and for the endless enthusiasm that our club has seen in the past few months. Students for Harris-Walz at MSU started out as students for Biden-Harris early in the year, and we quickly pivoted and rebranded following President Biden's decision not to seek re-election. We would like to express our gratitude and respect for President Biden and his steadfast leadership and commitment to the country, and for making possible this ticket from which we have all found inspiration, hopefulness, and joy with Vice President Harris and Governor Walz. Woo! In my time of civic engagement and doing things like this, I've developed a political shorthand for describing and analyzing the issues to which I refer to as F words. Those topics often invoked but never truly upheld by the GOP. With these F words, they gatekeep and they grandstand, and they fail to do little else. F words like faith, family, and freedom are examples of how the GOP makes empty promises while we deliver. While we are fighting to ensure that every kind of American family is represented and can get ahead in life, conservatives are pushing their weird obsession with Leave It to Beaver reruns and insisting on exclusion and an empty performative aesthetic of outdated gender norms. While we are fighting to ensure that every child is fed and treated with dignity and respect as an individual, they are banning books and threatening the teachers in their classrooms. While we know that there are Christians who still value healing the sick, tending to the needs of the downtrodden, and loving their neighbors, the Republicans have Christians whose only aim is to utilize the church as a bully pulpit and a place for encouraging xenophobic flaws of character. While they are celebrating the overturn of Roe v. Wade, we are fighting for women everywhere to have the bodily autonomy they are entitled to.
Yeah.
While Donald Trump is threatening to jail journalists for hurting his delicate feelings and political adversaries for challenging and criticizing him, we believe in upholding the freedom of the press and of personal expression. Look around at this campus, at your community of students. This campus is a reflection of America, with all nationalities, all identities, all cultures, and all bodies of various ability. If Donald Trump is elected and able to enact his Project 2025 manifesto, the diversity and true representation of America on this campus will be threatened. If he eliminates the Department of Education, these colleges we attend will also be threatened. We stand here today surrounded by all of this and by one another because of the freedoms that we have that Donald Trump and the Heritage Foundation want to erode from American life. It is my sincere belief that as a Democrat, I stand for faith, family, and freedom more than any Republican in office or on the ticket. The only F words that the Republican Party represents anymore are failure and fascism.
Yeah.
That's the only true form of trickle-down that has shown actual results, from Donald Trump down to Dave Williams. As a man, I know for a fact that Donald Trump is not, has never been, and will never be the pinnacle of masculinity. As the son of a single mother, I know that when a woman takes stock and sees that she is the solution to the challenges faced by her and those she loves, there is nothing that she can't accomplish or overcome. That's why when I got involved in the mayoral race in my hometown last year, I chose to support the woman who I knew was more than up to the task. I managed to help get her elected, and I figured if I did it for her, I can do it for a larger ticket.
Yeah.
I invited her here today because my hometown is thriving under the leadership of a confident and capable woman, and she stands as proof that America will thrive under the same leadership with Kamala Harris.
Woo! Yeah!
It is my sincere delight to introduce to you all Mayor Lauren Simpson of Arvada.
Hi everybody, how are you today? All right, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
perfect. So, hi everybody, I am Mayor Lauren Simpson of the city of Arvada. I'm proud to be down here with all of you today. And I want to be clear, I'm not here today as Mayor Lauren Simpson. I'm not here to speak for my city or for my council. I'm here to talk to all of you as Lauren, as a person. I'm here because, quite frankly, my story's relevant today. I never planned plan to be a mayor. I didn't go to school to study political science. I never envisioned myself in political office. It wasn't a dream I had. But it all ties back to what happened 8 years ago today, or well, close to today, November 8th, 2016. It ties back to something I remember vividly. I recognize many of you were probably in middle school or thereabouts. It may not be as vivid to you as it is to me, but I remember what happened. We were standing there on the precipice of
Good
history.
job. What's going on?
There was a sense, frankly, that we were going to do something pretty amazing back then, that we were watching history unfold. It almost felt inevitable. And if you see that I'm wearing white, I realize that might seem an odd choice, but it's very, very relevant. You see, back then in 2016, for those of you who may not remember, we wore white on election day. Women, and a lot of men too, and folks who don't identify as either, we wore white because it was the color of the suffragettes. It was the color of breaking the final glass ceiling. It was the color of history. Thousands of people lined up at the grave of Susan B. Anthony to lay flowers on it, wearing white that day. And it felt inspirational. I was a young mother then, wasn't involved in local politics. I did vote. I thought that was me doing enough. And I was, like I said, I was a young mother. I had a 2-month-old daughter, and I dressed her in white too. I believed that she would get to grow up in a world never knowing that she couldn't be something else. And then everything went wrong. I remember that night, I remember seeing her in her onesie. I put her in her swing, and I literally watched her the entire night. I slept for 45 minutes because of what happened when Donald Trump was elected president of this country. Against a woman who had been a senator, a secretary of state, a first lady, and generally one of the most accomplished people in the history of American politics. We chose a man whose greatest achievement was getting the country to say, "You're fired." And so I knew I couldn't sit on the sidelines anymore. I knew voting was no longer enough. I got involved. I got active. I started knocking doors for local candidates because this is where change is made, right here on the ground. One by one, day by day, door to door. And then we kept going. I got to know people, and people encouraged me to stand up for office. At first I said, "Oh, please no, that's not me." And then they said, "Actually, we think you'd be pretty good at this." And now I stand before you, the first woman ever elected mayor of my city.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I share that not because it's special, I'm not special, but because this is my story, and quite frankly, it's our story. We are not in the same place that we were 8 years ago today. We weren't. We are not. This state, Colorado, we have fought, we have stood, we have grown. We are now one of, I believe, 2 states with a majority woman state legislature.
Yeah.
Mr. Johnston had something to do with that. Yes, he did. We are a state that has embraced change. And we have done this together, step by step. It is something we have all done. We also have one of the most diverse state legislatures in the country. This is a state that wants to reflect what I see before me right now. And it's amazing. This is a state that has gone from not so long ago, within the last couple of decades, being known as the hate state. Yeah, the hate state is Colorado, to being a state that embraces change, that embraces people, whatever their background, gender identity, race, creed, belief, religion, it does not matter. We embrace you. We understand that you are a part of this fabric and a part of our country. And that is what is so inspirational about what is happening right now versus 8 years ago. 8 years ago, there was a sense of inevitability. It turned out to be wrong, but that's what it felt like. Today, now, it's different. It's not inevitable. It's still something we have to fight for, but it feels greater. It feels broader. It feels more exciting for a reason. And it's because Vice President Harris and Coach Walz represent what is the best about this country. They do. They represent opportunity. They represent fighting. They represent coming from a unique background and rising your way through. They weren't born to privilege. They weren't born to any they weren't born with silver spoons in their mouths. They worked hard. They did everything the right way, just like all of you are today. And they inspire each and every one of us. It's amazing what we're watching right now. We are watching the most broad coalition in American history come together to support a woman of color, child of immigrants for President of the United States. Yes! We are watching a veteran white man stand behind and support that woman in her leadership. Man, times have changed, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of all of you. But make no mistake, 8 years ago, we took it for granted, and we were wrong. We can't do that again. Each and every one of you, I hope, has voted, and if you have not yet, not only do I hope you vote, I hope that you vote all the way down ballot, because every single one of these races matters. It may seem like it doesn't, it may seem like a judge or a ballot initiative doesn't impact your life, but these are the things that impact every single day of your life. So vote down ballot, and then get a friend to vote. Get a family member to vote, especially if that friend or family member happens to live in a swing state. That one's really important. Vote, be involved. Data is so clear that when you get involved now at your age, you will be an involved citizen for the rest of your life. You will be somebody who stands up and makes a difference. And I'm so proud of that. I'm proud of you for being here today, even if it was for free pizza. Thank you for staying. Thank you for voting. So I want to make each and every one of you make a commitment right now to see this through. I want to hear you say, yes, we will vote. Yes? Yes?
Yes.
We'll vote. Okay. And if you're willing, if you're able, say, yes, we will wear white on Tuesday. We will see history broken together.
Yes.
We will see that glass ceiling shattered once and for all, so that my little girl and each and every one of you who maybe one day decides to become a parent, if you have a daughter, that they will know that they can do anything, just as any of you can. Thank you for having me here today. It is my honor to be here with all of you. And it's also my honor to introduce a man who needs no introduction, Mayor of Denver, Mike Johnston.
Huge round of applause for Lauren Simpson, the mayor of Arvada. Question, how many of you know this Halloween costume? Yes, who am I, Max Haynes?
Ken Salazar.
Ken Salazar. All right, a little bit of old Colorado political history. Ambassador Salazar. Sorry, that was my only joke for the day. I am delighted to be here with you. Just want to say two quick words, I think, about the importance of the moment that we're in right now. And I know that you all, many of you are students, you're in the midst of studying about work in the past, you're building dreams for the future. Going into Tuesday, there is a line that's particularly memorable to me, which is I sometimes divide people and actors into two different categories. So there are those that are the first liners and those that are the last liners. And here's what I mean. When we wrote the Declaration of Independence, the first line said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all are created equal." That's the first line. And many of us, maybe all of us, believe in that first line. And we walk around in the world saying that we believe in it. But what the founders realized when they wrote that sentence is that was the single most ambitious, single most audacious, single most unlikely promise that ever been made in history. And the chances of failure were incredibly high. And so what folks often don't pay attention to is that they knew that. And so in the very last line of that declaration is a sentence that most people don't know. Everyone knows the first line. But the last line says, in order to protect this declaration, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. The reason why that matters is they realized if you actually wanted to deliver a world in which everyone was created equal, you're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to show up for it. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have arguments with friends about it. You're going to have to get up early on a Sunday morning and knock doors for it. You're going to have to post on social media over and over for it. You have to make calls for it. You are going to have to do the work to make that true. And at every stage in American history, the people we've celebrated who have delivered on that promise, They have risked their lives and their fortune and their sacred honor. You think about the Massachusetts 54th Regiment, the first ever all-black unit to go into war in the United States of America to fight for the Union and fight for their own freedom. They risked all of it. You think about the suffragettes that the mayor was describing, who gave everything they had and showed up over and over and over again until the country changed. You think about 10 and 12-year-olds who stood in front of fire hoses in the 1950s and 60s to ensure that black folks had the right to vote, had the right to eat where they want, work where they want, go to school where they wanted. Those folks made sacrifices. This is now our moment to figure out what are we willing to do to ensure that fundamental promise that we hold these truths to be self-evident. And I would say you have 5 days to give everything you have to that cause. Whether it is calling, whether it is texting, whether it is phone banking, whether it's knocking doors, all the things that you know will matter. Because I think the most powerful idea about America is that we are not the victims of our own story, we're the authors. So the question now is, when you wake up next week, do you want to say that you were living through a chapter of American history that you were embarrassed to be a part of? Or do you want to say you lived through a chapter of American history that you were proud to be the author of? Because that's what's in your power in the next 5 days. Is to write the story for who we are and what we believe and how we show up. This is our chance to show up, to never give up, and to be able to walk out of a polling place on Tuesday and know we've been a part of history. We've been a part of finally not only delivering the first female president of this country, but the first woman of color to lead a major world democracy in the history of the planet. That is something we would be incredibly proud to have accomplished. Now let's make sure we go accomplish it together. Yeah. See you on Tuesday. I am very proud to introduce a new friend of mine, who is also someone who has lived the quintessential American story and has taken his genius to lend those words to art and to action. And so his name is Michael Shayan. He is a playwright. The world premiere of this national tour of his play Harris-Walz is opening just across the street at the Denver Center. You should all go see it. I will go see it. But before we do that, we should welcome Michael to the stage to talk about the moment that we're in.
How do you do, fellow kids? Let's raise my skibbities. Can you imagine if I did my whole speech like that? Oh my God. This is such a dream come true. Look, Shawn Mendes was busy, so I'm happy to step in as the resident gay guy, or bi-curious, as everyone else in Denver is. It must be the altitude, okay? It's a very gay altitude. And I love it. You guys have a gay governor. The gay agenda is finally working. Brat Summer forever! Yes! And look, Trump, I'm gonna take this mic down. I'm gonna come a little closer. Is that cute? Are we here? Yeah. Are we cute? Are we vibing? Oh, that's as far as I go. Period. There are limits. Okay. Yeah, and Donald Trump wants to take away our rights, guys. Like gay marriage, the right to an abortion, the ability to call Troye Sivan a twink still, even though he's 30. I don't care. Say it with me. I don't care. There we go. But no, really, Denver's altitude. I've been here 4 weeks, and it's so weird, right? I'm dizzy, I'm confused, I'm dehydrated. This is how Trump supporters must feel all the time. I like that one too. Look, when I was in college, my biggest dream was to become a campaign gay, you know what I mean? Tight suit, sort of like clipboard in hand, always on a Bluetooth headset, like a Twinkie Mayor Johnston, right? Go for Charlie? No. She needs her own trailer. No, Allison, because she's the lieutenant governor, that's why. In this fantasy, I'm a white guy named Charlie. But actually, I'm gay, I'm Persian, and I'm Jewish. So I'm totally fine, you guys. Things are going really well. This year's been peachy. I grew up no, seriously, it's an honor to be here and to check so many boxes, really. I grew up in a small family, just me, my mom, and 400 second cousins. She was a single mom. She asked me to mention she's still single, so send your hot uncles her way, sorry. A lot of you are probably wondering why I'm here, and I'm playing my mother, as Mayor Johnston said, right at the Denver Center. This guy's like my publicist now. I gotta bring him everywhere. I'm playing my mother at the Denver Center. Tickets on sale now. This isn't about me. Critically acclaimed. Really, that's enough. You have until November 17th and November 6th to vote. It's the same theater where Congresswoman Lauren Boebert was caught vaping. She's caught vaping, amongst other things. Look it up. No, really, I love being in Denver. I love that you guys call it Menver. I mean, I can tell why. Hi, Mayor Johnston. How are you? Doing well. Harvard, right? Me too. Thank you. My mother says she's proud of you. Guys, we need you to vote. Seriously. We cannot afford a civil war. What are we going to wear? I'll probably wear this. I mean, look, gays will be running the streets with vodka sodas, camo crop tops, and knee-high boots, screaming at the top of their lungs, "We're not going back!" Period. You know, Michelle Obama in 2016, you guys remember when she said, "When they go low, we go high." Yeah. Thank God that's over. Now they can't go any lower, and we can't get any higher. How many of you guys are high right now? Colorado, right? I had to include one high joke, right? Okay. It's legally required. No, but really, can you believe the recent Trump rally? Those awful comments they made about Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans. I go way back with Puerto Ricans. When I was a kid, we shared a cable subscription with our Puerto Rican neighbors. They didn't know it. We were Persia Rican. No, Donald Trump has, look, I just want to be serious for a minute. Donald Trump has made it clear how he feels about you and about us. And it's been my experience that no one can tell you what to do, right? Like, no one can force you to do anything. And actually, like, telling someone to do something might actually be like, okay, well, watch me not. But, and I'm like the worst adult. I can barely keep a plant alive. As a gay man, I'm not proud of this fact. But ask yourself this. When you wake up after Election Day, how will you feel if you didn't vote? You just couldn't bring yourself to do it. It's a blue state. No one will know. But think about how you feel if he wins. Breaking news, folks. There ain't enough room for all of us in Canada. Okay? Here's my unsolicited advice. Don't be that guy that doesn't do the work in the group project. No one likes that guy. Just ask Brian Singleton from my AP English class. I'm not that guy. You know Brian Singleton? Yeah, he's a real piece of work. No, but really, my mother had to escape a country where voting is just not an option, where people are risking their lives for the freedoms that we take for granted. We cannot take them for granted. Like the mayor said, we can't take them for granted anymore. And we might not agree with every position of the current administration or even VP Harris, but the stakes are too high not to vote or to vote for another candidate. And so I want to just close, as all rallies should, with a quote from Beyonce. I'm not here as a celebrity. I'm not here as a politician. I'm here as a mother. My mother, Denver Center. You have until November 17th. Seriously, guys, get your tickets. I'll be there. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Truth Social, wherever you get your news. And the time has come for you to vote for your life. Let's do it, Denver. Thank you so much.